So this is one of the newest builds that we finished up this week. Had a neck that came from an old luthier who's getting rid of a lot of his stuff. He specialized in mandolin necks, but had a bunch of guitar necks and sold them to me really cheap. A lot of my six-string acoustic builds, the resonator builds, have been thanks to that purchase. So uh, good deal on my part, and I've made some really cool stuff out of it. But this one was a neck that had not been finished, so begrudgingly I put frets into it. That was always an endeavor for me. Of course, I prefer fretless, but I haven't done a fretless six string yet. And I think that's going to be on my to-do list because I have a neck that has some really butchered frets on it. I think I'm just going to rip them all out and fill it with epoxy or something and smooth it out. I don't know yet. It's on the table. But anyway, back to this one. I put frets in it, sanded everything down, but it didn't have any holes drilled for tuners yet. So I really wanted to try something different, not just a traditional six string. And I got to playing with it, and I was able to fit 12 tuners just barely onto this headstock. You can see I had to angle them just slightly to compensate for screwing them in. But once I got those 12 strings in, or 12 tuners in, I knew this needed to be a 12-string guitar. So this is the very first 12-string guitar I've built. Has a humbucker in it. It has this beautiful, crazy-looking Ovenex brand cooking pan. I found two of these at the local thrift store. Thought that it had a really cool design on it, and I love how it turned out in this guitar. I also tried something different with this than the other resonators I have. You can adjust the height of the bridge using these two bolts in the resonator. So screwing those down will actually bring the resonator up, bring the bridge up, or screwing them down slightly will push it back down. Of course, go too far and it'll actually fall out, which is why this one's here to keep that from happening. So you'll notice that the resonator is actually slightly tilted because of that. But as always, I did not glue the back on. It can be undone with screws and adjusted if need be. Had a really beautiful piece of sanded plywood that used from the front and back. Had this beautiful little knot in it. So I didn't put a sound hole up here, mainly just because I wanted to preserve that wood grain. Then of course, drain cover sound holes. This thing sounds awesome. I also filled it with resonator springs, like always. So that's just acoustically. Let me turn up the pickup so you can hear it through the amp. Now this is just the magnetic pickup. Now, it also has a piezo pickup inside the resonator, so you can do both. Or just the piezo, which I have to be careful for feedback. It has that bright sound that piezos always have, but it also picks up more of that resonator spring action. So yeah, this was a fun build. We will be selling this one, I think. I haven't totally decided on that, but it is going to be a little bit more expensive than our regular six-string builds, just because it was a little bit more complicated. I tried a new trick with notching the box here so you could play up the neck more. I think that'll be really handy for whoever actually gets to be playing this, because I have no idea what I'm doing when I pick one of these up and play it. So yeah, really cool 6-string build. 12-string build. Unfortunately, used up all my tuners, which was a problem with the next one I'm going to show you that I'm working on currently. It's not done yet, but I got half of it done. That is this guy. So this is a double neck cigar box guitar, bass guitar on the bottom, and 6-string on the top. Now I know probably should have had bass on top, 6-string on the bottom, but with the shape of the box, I went with it this way. Now that I'm looking at it, I probably should have flipped it over and done the box the other way. But the reason why I went with this was the box art is up the right way this way. So you got the cigar smoker there on the front of the box. Yeah, so waiting on tuners, because I used all of my tuners. I don't have any more, what is that, right-handed tuners for this one. But was able to get the bass strung up. Just a couple of import humbuckers. I was really wanting to go with black. Unfortunately, the tuners that I ordered were sets of 2 left, 2 right, so didn't have enough black bass tuners to put on there, but I was impatient, so I went ahead and strung it up. And I'm really happy with that. The action's kind of high, but I think for a bass it doesn't matter as much. This is old salvage necks. Again, buying them from people that have busted their guitars or have modified theirs and are throwing away the old cheap necks. So nothing too fancy. It has a truss rod in it, but can't really adjust it. But it's still cool. I'm hoping to get the 6-string build finished this week. We have an art show coming up September 5th. September 5th at Cincinnati Square Gardens. Is that it? No, Fountain Square. I'll say it right here in a minute. It's Art on Vine. Art on Vine is usually the show that we do once a month. Right now it's been about every other month. We're busy with our actual jobs and life in general. But trying to get a few builds done. We'll have a bunch of really cool stuff. So if you are in the Cincinnati area and want to come over to Fountain Square Park and check out Art on Vine, we'll be there, and a bunch of other really cool vendors with everything from jewelry and t-shirts to paintings, all kinds of stuff. It's really cool. Help support local artists like us, doing what we love. So yeah, come check us out.